Hello everyone, welcome back to Comm Chronicles. This is our second episode. We're very excited, and today we're gonna be talking about FOMO. And I wanna introduce one of our special guests for today, Sheryl. Hey Sheryl, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sheryl, and I am a fourth-year psychology major student.
All right, and we also have our wonderful Monissa with us.
So I'm Monissa.
Our president. Yes. Okay. So, for anyone who does not know what FOMO stands for, it's the fear of missing out. So, missing out on what exactly? So, we'll be diving into that. So, I would like to ask: have you guys ever experienced FOMO, or is FOMO part of your life still? What's up?
I think it's still a part of my life. Like, the fear of missing out is, I would say, pretty constant for me personally.
Right.
I guess it also stems from like being an introvert.
Oh. Okay,
So I always have a fear of missing out. I'm always like, what if I was an extrovert, I wouldn't be missing all of this out. It would be so much easier for me to just go and do things. But because I'm an introvert, I'm always like, what if something happens? What if it's awkward?
Right. As for me, I would say I'm kind of out of it. I used to be super afraid of, being in that zone and having to sort of conform to everyone's needs and, with the trend and whatever not. But personally for me, I think I've become more content with myself for the past couple of years, so that has definitely gotten better, and I don't feel
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I definitely experienced FOMO, and I just want to say I disagree with the whole being introvert thing. I definitely think that it adds to it, but I also feel as someone who's extroverted, I feel like because I'm extroverted, I feel it even more. Because I'm always, okay, do I go to this place? Do I go to this person? Do I go to this party? Do I do this? So I feel like I feel it even more because I'm in it. Does that make sense? Like,
Okay.
I'm
Right.
like, someone's always calling, someone's always like, and I'm not trying to dismiss your feelings, but I feel like for example, you're a reserved person, you're just looking at it from the outside. But for me, because I'm in the middle of it, I feel it even more because I'm like, okay, if I don't go to this, I'm not gonna experience this, and if I don't, and I'm getting all these calls or something, so I definitely see that. But I agree with your point, like being like, for example, reserved, you feel like that, oh my god, I'm not doing anything or something like that. All right, that's interesting. So you currently feel FOMO, but I feel like me and Sheryl, we said that like we don't feel it
But
anymore.
I feel like even though you're an extrovert and you have all these people like calling you and texting you, I feel like personally if that was me, I would be very grateful. Like I wouldn't feel like I'm missing out, because I feel like still my friends, or still a group of friends or different groups of friends would still want me to go hang out with them. So I'm like, I'm not missing out because they still want me to hang out with them. But then when you're like, you don't really have anyone, so it's really like at least you get those calls and texts.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I get it. Yeah.
I can kind of like relate to that as well, because as when I was experiencing FOMO, I would say I was pretty introverted at that time, and I didn't really have a lot of people to go to, so it felt a little sad the fact that I was not able to sort of like keep up with a lot of things, and I don't have anyone else to talk to about it. So but yeah, as I guess I changed and I'm more extroverted now, and I guess that's why it's much more easier for me to not feel that way anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I think it also kind of comes from like social media, Yeah, like when you see even if they're not your friends, you see a group of friends like going to like a vacation, and then you feel like, oh my god, my group of friends should do this, but then all of y'all are not free at the same time, or, like,
Right.
so you fear that you're missing out on those like experiences, and you feel like you're running out of time because like I can't do this after I'm out of college, or even if I'm in high school, I can't do it when I'm like working. What if I'm busy? Thoughts in your head.
Like speaking of social media, I would say recently TikTok is like the talk of the town, and like there's so many trends going on, things like that, right? So it's like, oh, like have you not done that trend yet? Is it like are you not planning to do it, and things like that is definitely gonna sort of affect people,
I
especially
agree.
now college, right? So yeah.
I agree. I feel like especially now with things moving so fast paced and trends are going like the micro trends and everything is just like moving so fast, you feel like,
Right.
do I even have time to even be
Yeah.
involved in these trends, or
Kind of
like
reminds me of like when you were back in school and like Instagram would have so much memes,
Right.
and like if you didn't understand a specific meme and like it would just like bother you so much.
Yeah.
But now it's the same thing, but with TikTok. If you don't know specific audio
audios, yeah.
and this and that, and then people are like, oh, why don't you know this? Why don't you know that? And you're like,
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
such a millennial and something like that,
I agree. All right, like I want to speak on how, like, for example, you and me, Sheryl, we said like it's something that we have overcome,
Right.
in a way. I definitely feel it every now and then, but is there something that triggered it, or like was it something that you've worked on, like healing it, or spiritually, or anything, or is it just something that just happened?
I think it just happened as I was, growing up and getting into adulthood and things like that. Because personally, for me, I had a lot of friends, first year of my college and whatever not, and they were very, very, very active in terms of, keeping up with all of these trends, whether or not going to places that were very viral, trying viral foods and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, it's a lot of money. That's one.
Yeah, that's
you
true. You gotta have pockets, deep pockets.
and I'm just gonna be honest, I don't have the time for it.
That's
know.
true.
So so I just sort of accepted that, and I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right.
Do you think there's like an explanation to why, like, even though you know that you don't have the cash and you don't have the
Capacity.
time for it, or even like you may be not available, you have like other things to attend to, yet you still feel it?
Yeah,
like,
understandable.
You can never do it. Like, even if you like, something might be blocking you, but still, why do you feel like you're missing out, even though it's not your fault? Because if you had these things, you would still go.
First of all, it's not your fault at all. You can't help but feel certain things, unfortunately. So that is the reality of it. But I would say, if you really feel that, your group of friends are the ones that are making you feel this, very strong feeling of, missing out and whatever not, then perhaps you could talk to them about it, or ask them, maybe let's not do this, or I'm not able to do that, and things like that. Yeah. So
I think that sometimes, I don't know, this is just me speaking from my perspective. When I used to have FOMO, it felt like if I did not go to, let's say, this thing with this group of friends, I'd be disliked. Like, the less I showed myself, the less they liked me. And I felt like, why am I trying to please people? Why am I seeking that external validation? And I feel like that's definitely a part of the FOMO, is like you want to make sure that you're also accepted into this community and that external validation. And it's something that, unfortunately, you just gotta work on your own internal validation. I feel like it automatically, when you do that, it will slowly drift away. So I think it's just from a place of like seeking internal validation and like making it like at the same level as external validation.
But that's the thing, right? Like, if you are pleasing people and if you want to conform to all these trends and whatever not, does that make you feel good personally? Like, do you feel good doing it?
That's true.
So it's like, at the end of the day, who am I doing it for?
That's true. What if it makes someone does feel good? What does that say?
I don't know, honestly. I guess at the end of the day, like, I think if you feel good, then do it. Then if you don't, just don't. Yeah.
Even if it puts you in jeopardy, like your money is just gone, your time is gone, you're missing assignments.
I mean, don't do that, obviously. But like, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, interesting. So, Moni, is there...
So, I think another FOMO that people feel is like someone who, even academically, it's like, when the club or like even like your faculty organizes a lot of talks and it's beneficial for you, if you go you're gonna learn something, like a career service or whatever not, but then you just feel so tired and you're like, I'm missing this out because this is for free, I can never get this. Like, you have to pay for these things outside of college.
That's true.
Like all these lectures, all these like talks, but then like you still don't go. I see so many people, they still don't go. Even I personally, sometimes, even if I'm free from that time to time, I still don't go. Instead, I waste my time sitting down just yapping.
Is that like, do you feel like you're
missing out
you're
on,
missing on knowledge,
yes,
information,
on learning something, or like with connections too. I feel like I might meet someone there and I might connect, and like that might help me. But like,
that's so interesting, because usually when people talk about FOMO, they talk about it in the more entertaining side rather than the educational and career side. That's really interesting.
So I feel like a lot of people also kind of feel that. Maybe, do y'all feel that?
Yeah,
I agree. I feel like definitely like, I didn't go to this talk because I had a class or something, like, I could have gotten this person's LinkedIn or like connections. You gotta keep it moving.
But do you beat yourself up for it? Like,
a little bit. Sometimes I'm like, but then at the same time, I know like our uni, like they provide a lot of talks. So I'm like, we're good. We'll meet the next person. I'll feel it for an instance, and then I will just, the feeling just goes away.
Yeah, because you're gonna keep getting it. Like next year, there's gonna be these talks still, but then again next year you wouldn't go.
Right.
Yeah, I go.
Maybe I might go.
Or you could ask a friend who attended it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's like also another type of FOMO,
Yeah.
So that just makes me think like there's so many types of variants to FOMO, like why you feel FOMO, like how you every type of fear of missing out. But what do y'all think is like the main link to it? Like what really makes you feel like you're missing out?
I think we as humans, we automatically, I feel like out of survival instincts, we just want to compare things just for our own survival. Like it's like, you know, when like our primitive, you know, like people back in the day, okay, is this person like me? If not, is this a threat or is it not? I feel like it just comes from that sense. I don't know, you're the psychology student, you can correct me.
I guess it's also society's like expectations, right? Like it's such an important factor in everyone's life, no matter what age you are, you know, especially in a college setting. It's like you have society's expectations, your parents' expectations, and then your own friends are also expecting certain things. So, you know, I think the need to constantly, you know, meet those expectations is so exhausting and so tiring just to be someone else and not get appreciated for it.
And just be like everybody else, and like you truly don't know like what you are, and like you're not comfortable with being yourself, so you always feel like you're missing out, right?
Right.
I feel like that's where it stems from. You're not really comfortable being alone. You don't know what to do with time when you're alone. You're like, what do I do? And then you go on social media and you're like, oh, this that. So I think like that's what we have to figure out. How to be by yourself, to be yourself, right?
Yeah, to be content with yourself.
I think also like we can look at it from a positive lens in the sense where FOMO is like a reminder a part of you wants to do something. Like say you're introverted or reserved, it's like a it's like, you know, your spirit inside is telling you like just let's put ourselves in this situation, even if it makes you uncomfortable, you will get that experience. So there's a positive and a negative aspect, and it's just the way you want to treat it and how you want to deal with it in your life to make it. I think it's best to deal with it in a positive lens. Okay, maybe this thing is telling me something, this fear, maybe I should partake, maybe I should not. Like it just, you know, you have to balance it out.
Yep.
Okay, so that basically is what FOMO is, right? I think we shared like a variety of ideas on like what FOMO is.
Right, so we're wrapping up the episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any opinions about FOMO, do you agree, do you disagree, do you have any advice for anyone who's experiencing it? And thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you.
Thank you, Sheryl. Thank you,
Moni.
Bye.